Welcome to Big Blend Radio with travel writer Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva. So everybody, it is time for Diva Linda to give her final boating adventure of 2025. Our episode is a final one of 2025 of her boating adventures in the Pacific Northwest. Every summer, her and her husband, Alan, get on their yacht. They play yacht music. So is it yacht rock, whatever it's called? They get on their wonderful boat and they go sailing around. They're docked in Tacoma now, and they sail to British Columbia and through the waters of Washington State. And today she's giving her final one on this, but next year there'll be more, because she goes to the Pacific Northwest every summer, and the rest of the time she is in Arizona or traveling wherever her heart wants to go, because she is Diva Linda. So today, Diva Linda, you are taking us to the South Sound, right?
South Sound is a very interesting destination for boaters and for regular visitors. Well, you're going to hear today how one does it via boat, any kind of boat, whatever kind of boat you have. We have a 52 Ocean Alexander, but you might have something larger or smaller, and it's all doable and it's all quite fun. It's not the destination that the San Juan Islands are, but then you're also not going to get the traffic that you see in the San Juan Islands.
Okay, so the South Sound, where is this?
Olympia. So our state capital, Olympia, and just like it says, it's in the south part of the state, and it's really quite beautiful. Actually, it's probably less developed in some ways. In other ways, it's more developed. You can imagine the infrastructure around the capital, but the capital has tried to make sure that it has beautiful things around it, nature-based, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I think for anybody who is a boater, if you in Washington State, you wouldn't come up from Oregon unless you were bringing your boat up. But it's a great place for anybody you can rent boats, we used to do that. And you have them for a week and you go wherever you want to go. In the South Sound, I would highly recommend. It's a little, it feels to me, probably not to my husband, but to me, it feels safer. It feels like it's a safer boating adventure than perhaps one might get out in the San Juan Islands or certainly up in Canada. But this one in particular was a 3-day trip, and it was done with our yachting group. And that's really, I highly encourage anybody coming who's a boater or getting into boating to join a yacht club. It provides socialization, provides destinations, it provides events, and it provides what they call reciprocal mooring, which is worth the price of whatever it is that you pay for a membership with your yacht club. So this was 3 days and six boats signed up, and that was the maximum that could sign up. And away we went.
Okay, I got boating questions for you again. I swear I'm going to put all of this into one big magazine, because I got the giggles of our last episode, because I'm like asking boating questions of the diva.
Yep.
And I think maybe a few years ago, it wasn't so, we were getting there. We were learning, all of us, you've been teaching us as you learn, and you've been doing it. How many years actually? It's been a few. Yeah.
It's been 9.
Yeah. So this has been a while that you've been doing it.
Yeah.
But now when you talk about reciprocal mooring, I want to talk about that. But also I want to know, by becoming a member, you talk about socialization. I know there's events like this Flotilla, all of that. But as you get to know everybody within that club, is that something that really helps in that you make friends? And then something like, I think last time you were on the show, there was an alternator issue. Like you can call up, hey, I know Joe over there knows about alternators. Or maybe you're out somewhere floating around and you're like, and then you've got someone to call for the moments.
Absolutely the truth. It's sort of like the PTA of the boating group. So you used to meet all your friends through PTA and your children. Now you meet them through a yacht club. It's very nice. These 3-day events give you an opportunity to meet new people and see their boats and just socialize in general. And then as you gather the names and the occupations and the interests of the others, absolutely can find exactly what you're looking for. We're still working on this generator, if you can believe it. If you've listened to our other shows this summer, it's been the generator, then it's the batteries, and it's the generator. I don't know what in the hell's wrong with this generator. But anyway, so it's a great help. It's a great support group. It's a great social group. You find people that are actually in your marina that you didn't even know were in your marina.
Now, what about reciprocal mooring? What's this about?
So this is really interesting. So If you're a boater that likes to go out, let's say to the San Juan Islands or beyond, Canada's not great about this, but anywhere in Washington, the club takes their time and negotiates with marinas all over to let's have free marina space. So let's say that you're going to Paulsbo and you want to moor your boat there. Well, it might be $200 a night.
Hmm.
With Reciprocal, it is $0 per night. You only get to stay generally 2 nights, and you have to wait 7 days, sometimes to 30 days before you can come back. But by the time you go to 2 or 3 marinas, which you should be doing if you're vacationing or if you're boating for the summer, you're more than paid for whatever the fee is for your boating club. So they call them reciprocal, meaning that we also have a place for people, we being the yacht club, have a place for people to bring their boats for free. So you do this for me, I do this for you. It's really, really nice. I had no idea. And then again, once again, generally most of them have a specific space for our yacht club to moor at. So
Okay.
if there's 2 or 3 spots, you're going to meet and see all the people that you're either going to re-meet the people that you met before, or you're going to meet new people. It's great.
Oh.
It's great fun.
So long as you like them. Just kidding.
Yeah. It was fun. Well, we've had that too. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I just had to be a diva.
Yeah. Well,
You know, but
that's
that's
the way
what
it goes.
travel's about. That's the way life is, and that's the way travel is, you know. I love
Learning
this.
lots of
So
stuff.
this was a flotilla, right? And so I heard the word flotilla on some military maneuver thing that I was
Oh,
listening
yeah.
to. As this battle, there was a flotilla. I went, wait, Diva Linda wasn't on that, and this doesn't sound like Diva Linda's kind of party. This sounds like you're using it to blow up other people. This is not that flotilla that we want, but this is a flotilla we do want. And the flotilla rhymes with tortilla in my mind. So that means you get good food on deck as you meet, right? So you got together. So there were 6 boats of people going from Tacoma to the South Sound in Olympia.
Now, the boaters come from all over
Oh,
Washington State. So most of them have their boat moored, in the Seattle,
okay.
yeah, and south. That's where some of them actually moor their boats in Canada because that can be advantageous too, but for different reasons. But yeah, so they all come from different places and different marinas and different cities. And we all meet up at one place. The first place we went to is something called Long Branch. These marinas are so interesting. Some are really easy to get around, and some of them like give you golf carts, and you can go up to the marina stores or the stores in the city or go get a coffee or whatever it is you're missing or wanting. And some marinas they've been built on like flood tides and so forth, and they're really, really steep to get from the marina up to where the road is or where the shops are or whatever. Unless you're really gung-ho to get up there and you like a hike, you probably won't come off your boats. And usually we just stay one night. It's
Okay.
not generally more than one night. And this place was great. They're all very picturesque and all very different. This one was a little snarky about dogs on their deck. Not that I blame them because, of course, one dog pees, they all want to pee. Same place. There's seals that have come up on the deck. The dogs want to pee over the seals. They want to bark at the seals. Mine certainly.
They want to
does.
pee over
And
the seals? That's
yeah.
this is
That's
a whole
if
new
you-
boating fact I didn't know.
And if you know anything about the seals, or
But that's
some
not. Ooh.
well, it's interesting. The young ones have absolutely no fear of dogs or people, and they want you to come over and say hello. We have a baby seal out here on our around our boat where we're moored that comes to see our dog every morning.
No way,
So
that is so cute.
yeah, so
Oh,
mama's over resting someplace or feeding or doing something, and the little one comes over and swims around till the dog comes out, and then they bark at each other. It's quite fun.
I want a video of this. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I do. My
Yeah,
gosh.
and then other times as the before and after the season when there's very little people on the docks, the seals and the sea lions come and take over the docks pretty much. They want to sun themselves So you really got to be careful because some are very sweet and they just leave when they see you. Others will challenge you for the territory of walking by. So it's a
Oh,
very very interesting.
wow. Well, yeah, I know that, remember in La Jolla, California, people had
Yes.
started messing with the seals and sea lions, and there was drama over that because don't mess with them.
Grandma, you
Yeah.
cannot be. No,
They're
look.
wildlife.
They just look like big wet doggies,
And you
when
want
you
to play
bark
with
like a
them,
dog.
but no.
No, plain the little ones, but the baby ones just don't have a clue. The mothers are continually like nudging them and slapping them to get them in the water if somebody's coming towards them. But on their own, they would just say, "Hello, it's nice to see you."
Oh.
It's all a good thing, but that doesn't happen much. It's
And
a
they
pretty
can
interesting process.
move faster than what people think, too. It's just like
Yes,
hippos. Nancy got
yes.
charged by a hippo once, and that's on foot.
Don't know. You really don't know if that's going to happen to you or not, right?
Yeah,
You,
I
I,
mean, that's like Nancy and I hanging out with alligators, and then one day, oopsie, run. You're not supposed to run, but I'm running. Come on, we're running. You know,
to be pets, but they're just like you just
help.
said. They are wildlife. They're nothing more than wildlife.
And
Or
don't
they're
feed them
everything.
because that's when it starts to get crazy, right?
I would agree. Some of the seals look like they think that if they come up to the boat, somebody will throw them something, but you can't
So
do
people
that,
have,
and you should not
yeah,
do that. No, kill their
that's what
digestive
happens.
systems. No, none of it. Stop
No,
it.
and that's what happens in national parks with bears and stuff. So don't. So the
Yeah.
first, going back to the marinas, so this Long Branch was one. And so that is a very welcoming, and that's in the Puget Sound. The other one is Swantown Marina, Olympia. It's in Olympia.
Let's Before we go there, let's go. We went from Long Branch, which was an organized marina with a picnic pavilion and so forth,
Oh,
so we could play games with each other and drink with each other and eat with each other. Then from there, we went to another marina, and it was totally it. So the first marina had water, electricity, whatever you needed. Now the second marina is a state marina. It's the park,
oh,
and there's no beautiful docking, but no facilities.
this
So
is
you're down.
Joemma Beach State
Yeah,
Park.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this
So
is what we call dry docking in road tripping land. If you're in an
yeah,
RV, boondocking or dry docking, right?
so you have to use your own facilities, which is fine because most boaters have that, and well maintained for a state park. My gosh, they're beautiful. And what this one does, which is interesting, is they put the docks on the beaches during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot dock during the winter. Probably wouldn't want to anyway, but you can. But during the summers, the docks are out, and you do have to pay a fee. I'll tell you that the state
Mm-hmm.
parks is not real expensive, but it's still a fee. And you just walk your dog or yourself out to the. They've got beaches and forests and this and that, But it's a hiking adventure, not and
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to get to. Whereas in Long Branch, there was a road up above, and it was very difficult to get to. And the lady was yelling
Okay.
at us about the dog. So um, this one was interesting, and it was more, rugged, if you wish, if you want to say
Mm-hmm.
that. And generally, what happens is everybody goes from one marina to the other at their leisure. So
Oh, okay.
some people stop and they want to see the clams, or they want to stop and see the not starfish, but they could do
Oh, the
that as
see,
well.
see.
$10. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
we were
going
talking
there
about that
next year.
last time. Yeah.
I want to do that. Yeah, I didn't know that was available. See, this is what you learn. You don't know anything about this, and then you talk to somebody, and they're taking their boat over to see the sand dollars, and then you get to see their pictures, and it's really quite exciting. So everybody takes their time or zooms right over, whatever. And there's always a coordinator to these events, and they're generally telling you where to moor your boat and, where to tie up and so forth. So, about 5 o'clock, the hors d'oeuvres arrive and the different libations arrive. And these are big game players. Mostly think of games like trivia and things like that,
Okay.
that everybody, including if they brought their kids, can at least give it a try. Mostly this is
Okay.
adults, but there are families, and they should be able to do stuff.
That's cool. And then the one in Olympia, this is the one that's at the state capitol, and you can go. I love going to state capitol buildings, they're it's just
This
the
one's
history
beautiful.
and yeah, it looks like it.
Lots of art. If you were raised or lived in the Seattle area, especially, you know about the artist Chihuly, and he does these fantastic glass blowing sorts of things. He's getting older now. He's pretty much just mentoring people, but he has a patch over his eye, and he sort of looks like a pirate, and he's pretty funny. So anyway, yes. Now what happens here is the marina for we didn't go to the one right at the Capitol. We were out just a little bit in something called Swan Town. So if
Mm,
you wanted to go to the marina, you would either find a bus because there was a road, or you would just call Uber, and Uber would take you over there, and that would be just fine.
mm.
And in this marina, they had Anthony's at one end, 7-minute walk, and another fish house on the other side, which was opposite, which was about a 15-minute walk. So you're tired of your boat, you're tired of cooking, you want to get on land, you want to go
Yeah.
out. We hooked up with another couple that were absolutely fabulous and just went to happy hour, and it was just fine. It was really nice. I don't know. I had sangria. It was quite
Yeah.
wonderful. So I think she had Jack on the Rocks, and the husbands talk boating, 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 and the girls talk other things. So, but it
Gets to know what the girls are talking about.
and they shouldn't.
Yeah, I thought of you. I thought of you because did a podcast the other day, and I was talking. The lady said, "Oh, I forgot this and that at home, so I had to get this." When I got there, and I said, "Did you do this on purpose? Is this a shopping thing that? Oops, I forgot this. I get to buy a new one." I was like, "That's a Diva Linda move." This, I thought,
Really?
isn't that a good one? I thought that was quite
I
good.
like that. Well, I've forgotten many things on purpose.
And these are the things that no one gets to hear about in these conversations over happy hour. It's like
That's right.
we
Yeah. What did you
trade
buy?
secret,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
right. That's right. Yeah.
trade
And how
secret.
and how to get things delivered to you when you don't have when you're out for 6 months. Where is it
Oh
that
my God.
yeah, you have to find a place that will allow you to send your stuff. And those post offices generally not real post office, but private ones. My God, this is a lot of stuff. Are you sure?
You're
Oh
gonna have
yeah,
to
we're out
start
of
paying
everything.
for paying rent. Yep.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly,
We know about it.
exactly.
I mean, thank goodness we have good friends who to help on this, but I love these different places you went because these are attractions you can go to if you're going to Olympia, right? And that region. And so you saw the Dale Chihuly art display there and but there's a Chihuly glass bridge, right, that people should know about.
Yeah, so Chihuly is, I don't know, he was into glass bridges for a while. If you know about Chihuly, he gets fixated on stuff. If you ever have an opportunity and you're in Seattle, he has a restaurant, a very low key restaurant, not a big fancy one, low key restaurant, right next to the Space Needle. They're not very, 100 feet apart or something. It's not very far. And they have a Chihuly showcase, and then you can go to the his restaurant, and you can see all his collections, umbrellas. He just gets fixated on things, string dolls. I didn't even know what a string doll was until I was there. Knives, everything. So bridges, back to bridges. So I guess maybe you got fixated on bridges. I'm not sure, but there's a glass bridge, Chihuly glass bridge in Tacoma that I've yet to see. But you can see from the freeway going back and forth when you're shopping and so forth. And it looks wonderful. And it's beautiful, and his stuff is real colorful. So yeah, so then they have a one that's very similar in Olympia, a glass bridge, and they probably have them elsewhere. I think they have another one in Chicago. So
Wow.
yeah, so he just sort of fixates on things and develops lots of it.
Wow. But that's what happens. It's whatever your inspiration is. It becomes a muse. And it yeah, I get it. It's like and musicians change up once in a while. They're all into country and it's like, you know what? This one tune just got me. I'm going to go into this area. And it's still their style and it's the same thing. It's still a Chihuly. It's his, no one else's, but he was obviously fixated on glass. That was his first fixation. Yeah.
Yep, yep, he does
So that's
beautiful things. Yep,
ah,
yeah, you would be able to tell. You know who else has the Chihuly collection is one of the big fancy casinos in Las Vegas. and they have a Chihuly
Is
garden.
it Bellagio? Bellagio always has the
It
parks.
is. No, it is.
Though it's the one with all the fountains and
That's it. And they made a Chihuly garden for him. It's sort of like walking in a garden with his glass. So his
oh,
glass is sort of planted all around.
which I just drove through Vegas. Why didn't you tell me?
To go see it. It's stunning. It's
Oh man.
absolutely, especially for flower people. I mean, it's just
Uh,
the way they've done it, and they change it up all the time and bring in new pieces. And Chihuly is very generous with his art, and he lends it out throughout the world. So there are exhibitions of his stuff that stay for a while and then come back and move over to someplace else. But he's everywhere. I mean, I think you go to most and find out where his large
mhm.
cities, find out where his collection is that day.
Yeah, and you can find it what Scottsdale. He's got a thing there.
Well, yep,
Mm.
yep, yep.
And
Well, of
Tacoma,
course,
Tacoma
Scottsdale.
too.
Yeah,
He has a bridge.
Tacoma has it. Beautiful. No, he has a whole glass museum, not just the bridge. He has a whole museum as well. Yeah, lots of interesting. I mean, he's just an interesting man, and his story is interesting, and it's interesting to watch how he started and then how big he is now, and then he started mentoring people, and now those people are fair, can go on their own or they stay under the Chihuly name, whatever they want to do. But because there's a university right there,
Mhm.
top artists right there for him to choose from, for them to
Wow,
train and come down. So it makes a lot of sense.
this is cool. Now you got some parks, Percival Landing Park. So that's also connected to a marina, right?
That's right. That's right. We didn't go to that one, but that one looks beautiful. People say to go there because then you can walk to the park and walk in the park and around the park, and it's quite gorgeous. And that's probably something we'll do next year, I think, because it looks so interesting.
Now
That's
I want to go
closer.
to Nisqually National Wildlife Refuge. You know, I love national wildlife refuges, and that's my background picture. Is those boardwalks. I love boardwalks.
Just the view itself is just I don't know, just amazing, just inspiring, amazing, whatever you want to say, just the look of it. The one behind you has that long walk out, and it
Mhm.
has the tidal flats and all that kind of
I
stuff.
love and all the bird watching.
Bird watching, who knew? I guess I'm just figuring this out, although I've lived in Seattle for many years on and off, that bird watching is huge in Seattle,
Oh yeah.
Washington State.
Oh
And
yeah.
next year we will talk a little bit more about that and the places that you can go to
I
bird
love it.
watch.
It's one
Yeah,
of the top hobbies in the world. That
I
and
know
family
that.
is the three top hobbies: family history, bird watching, gardening, and it's all
Yeah.
Diva approved. The bird watching in Washington State is phenomenal. In Nancy, I mean, I remember being at Long
Yeah.
Beach, right, and
Yeah.
and doing this one hike, and bald eagles are circling around. You could hear them before you could see them. And then you go out and you've got forest areas, and then you've got like the marshlands here, the tidal. I love the in between places is where you find really good stuff happening. You'll find woodpeckers as you walk inland. You'll find at this place maybe some sandpipers, some avocets, herons, egrets, and then osprey. That's my other. I love a good osprey. I do. But people travel the world for their life birds. They have their list of birds that they've seen or heard because mostly you're hearing before you see, and sometimes you never get to see them, but you hear them. So people use the Merlin app or iNaturalist is my thing, and Cornell iBird has a one. Is Cornell's Merlin? Could be. I might have get them all twirled around. People record sounds, and then that's how you hear them and how you identify them. So
You can identify them. Oh, just like the
that's how
plant
you
again.
identify is by sound a lot of the time.
We learn all about that when we have the bird watching segment. So
I can't wait.
you're ready.
I mean, I do this. Because as we travel the country, it's like, okay, we forget we're in a different area. Like, do you know what back east, and you know this from living in Arizona and even in the Pacific Northwest, don't you miss the sound of doves? Aren't you used to doves in the morning? And all of a sudden there's doves, but it's not the big doves, the big white-winged dove. So
Right.
it's like, where are the doves?
How about that? I never
Yeah.
thought about that. I lived on the East Coast for a while, and I was I mean, I was like early 20s, 23, probably 24 for a couple years. I don't remember that. I just missed the ocean.
Yeah. Oh, and seagulls. I love seagulls.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And it cracks me up when I see seagulls inland. And they are all over inland, like pelicans. You'll see white pelicans. We just saw pelicans in Idaho in the Snake River, and it was at a park called Massacre Rock. Oh, this is cool. It's a state park. No, well, massacres did happen between the Native Americans and people in their thing. But since this is in October, this is really not a good story, but it's a story. The legend has it. So the women and then the men, they were so poor, not like food poor. They didn't have food. They were running out of food. And Idaho's rugged country, but you're along the Snake River, and the women on the way, because they were starving, made their babies to rest in the river because they couldn't feed them. Now, the legend is, this is a good Halloween story. You can be at the banks of the river fishing or something, and you'll hear a baby cry, and it'll lure you in. Legend has it.
Good Halloween
Massacre
story.
Rocks. I know.
Campfire.
That's it. So I know, right? And they have docks and boating. I just want you to know. And bird watching. And so where we were, there were little barn swallows nesting up in the little pavilion, picnic pavilion. And then we turned around and pelicans landed in front of us. I'm like, what are you doing here? But I've seen pelicans in Texas. I've seen, I should know better. Illinois, in the middle of Illinois in a lake, going, what? And I have to remember white pelicans do that. We're so used to the coastal pelicans.
Why
Anyway.
do they do that? Why are they there?
They're because they don't have to all be sea. They're not ocean as much as they are inland water, and depends on the time of year. So Pacific Northwest for, the flight patterns that go off between, because you've got the Bering Sea. It's kind of like the whale migration, the bird migration on the coastal areas. That is huge, of birds migrating in spring and fall. September, October is like huge. This is a bird season. October's massive. It's like the end of like, get out. We need to go to warmer climates. So a lot are coming here. That's, they come south, and then spring, it's a whole new migration again. So it's like hummingbirds do it. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So,
how interesting. Well, you know a lot.
Well, we're park people. We're bird people. So Nisqually National Wildlife Refuge is on my list for next time we get up to the Pacific Northwest. And
you'll love
I have
it.
to tell you, we just came back from Oregon, and the gardens, oh my.
I just came back from Medford and got back a couple days ago, and I was there before the big heat wave at 98 degrees, if you move that, but the flowers are just gorgeous. The dahlias and the this and the that.
They were still having blackberries in Eugene, Oregon, and I was eating blackberries right before we left. I mean, and they were saying that this year things, came to fruition early, like a month or two early, that this has been a long season compared to normal. So
nothing quite like eating blueberries fresh off the vines. They're just unbelievably good.
Well, and Elmira, Washington is where they created the pink lemonade blueberry. Briggs Nursery, I don't, they may be in that same name, but a lot of our blueberries are the tissue culture, or the cultured and created in Washington State. So a lot of our blueberries.
Have to ask Robert from Alyssa's about that. Do they have that pink blackberry,
pink lemonade blueberry? The blueberry, those they're cultivated for home gardeners. So I don't know if they'll have them for that, but we should ask them for sure, because they're delicious. I had a cheesecake made with them. I said cheesecake. So there you go. Diva Linda, always fun. I can't wait for next month. We will have Robert Schuler back from Melissa's Produce talking about holiday tables, because it'll be the beginning of November. So you can get ready for Thanksgiving, Christmas, yes, and also Kwanzaa, all those different holidays we want to celebrate. It's just a festive time, and he always keeps us up to date with new treats and snacks and produce to put on the table, like those pink pineapples. I hope we get to talk about those again.
Don't we love those?
We do.
We like those a lot. Yep.
And so you'll be back in Arizona.
I will be back in Arizona.
We'll be able to talk with you soon, and we'll be in Texas and you'll be in Arizona, so we'll deliver a Southwest perspective. So we're shifting gears.
That'll be great.
Awesome, Diva Linda. Thank you so much, and safe travels home. Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio with travel writer Linda Kissam. Keep up with Linda at allingoodtaste.info. You can read her articles in Big Blend magazines, and keep up with us at bigblendradio.com.